it's official.
Now it's official. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our chat with John and Bogdan. The couple of things we should probably talk about early is that we are broadcasting via Zoom. You're seeing us on Facebook Live. So there's a bit of a delay between what we say and what we see in the chat. So if you're trying to get through, please don't be discouraged. We are trying to watch the chat at the same time. And the other thing is the whole reason for doing our chat is to share the kinds of work that Bogdan and I have that are available, things we've been working on.
Gosh, we are creating a lot.
We're cranking out product.
And not only that, but lately we kind of sold several things, like all of a sudden. And
wow,
it's
been a while.
It's happening.
It's again. A great feeling. So basically, if you fall in love with something, we can get it to you wherever you are in the world. So thanks so much for joining us. And let's get into the show. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. So let's see. You should talk a little longer,
Okay, and then I don't know what else to say.
It's a deal. Hey guys, this is the first piece and it's mine. And I want to share this with you because they are so good and so new and they are so well received. It's actually illustration and photography because, how did it start, this idea? John and I signed up for an art fair somewhere in countryside, Texas. And I can't really bring Urbana series to on that settings because it's not appealing to that crowd, to those collectors there. And I thought, let's make something that it's everybody recognizes, everybody knows what it is, except there has that a surprise element when it's like, what is that? What? Oh, how fun. So this is how it started.
Yeah, I think these are delightful. I mean, there are lots of people here who will collect Texana, the things that are very, very common to see on the countryside, barns and cows and horses and that kind of small town look. And those pictures are lovely, but we've seen them all so many times that they're hard to appreciate now.
And let me just show a print here.
So if you can take something and make it look completely new.
So to make it even more unique, I added acrylic paint here and there. So even though they are 10 in edition of these images, they're all different.
They're all different.
So look at this. They're fun.
Those are, I think they're delightful.
They are like candies. And yet I would probably not hang this picture as is, but then adding those elements make it so interesting and so different that I would hang it with pleasure.
And a lot of people here have places in the country, little country houses, places at ranches, things like that. And they love to have artwork in their ranch houses. But I mean, again, how many pictures of cows and horses and barns can you have?
And this is a series under development. I do have 3 or 4 pieces already done. And I'm gonna get even more creative with them and explore more ideas, keeping the countryside theme at its core.
Yeah. So I mean, this is Texana, but it could be anywhere in the South, in the West, throughout the country. Just
look how modern that is, and how cute and how fun.
I think they're delightful.
The colors are right, and guys, I do illustration, and it's like what you see in here. It's added one thing at a time. It's not. I'm creating a bulk of things, and then it's thought out, and every single swirl that you see in this bale, it's manually done.
So are those real hay bales that you have then painted over, or did you create them from scratch?
I created from scratch, yeah.
And so you added the shadows, and I just think they're delightful.
Yeah, so it's, every one of them would have different colors. This is kind of a brush, and then I have tons of brushes there in this shape, and you apply and apply and apply until you make the bale right.
I think they're delightful. Again, go with any decor, but they're kind of funny and they have a real homage to the rural communities that surround us here in Texas.
You know, and bring some joy and some happiness and some colors to those everyday scenes, you know. And it was funny, last Saturday I had one of those the madhouse printed, and last Saturday a young couple show up in the studio and they bought it on the spot. And it's like, they were like, you know, we are millennials, this is what we liked. And this week sometime they sent me a message on private on Instagram saying how much they enjoyed the picture, and that they actually put it on they own a Airbnb here in town.
Oh, nice. Yes, you mentioned
that. It's super modern, decorated, and they said we enjoy it so much, it's unbelievable. So it's just like fills up your soul. It's, you know,
I think
we
they're
feel good.
Remarkable images, and I just love the whole series.
Yeah, so this is it's called what? Bells of Fun. It's a 1975 by 1375, the actual print, and it's designed to go into a 24 by 18 frame.
So easily framed. Just a remarkable idea. I'm so proud of you for doing this.
And it's great. They look great on print. They look better in print than on screen.
Oh,
it's just unbelievable.
Yeah. They're pretty striking on the screen as well. I've got them sitting here right next to me, and they do look a lot better.
Oh, you know what? Let me show you. The one I shared with you a second ago does not have the acrylic applied, but this one has. And this is another edition, and you can see all this super glowing orange. It's actually acrylic paint. And I used to do. I opt to do that because in print you can't have these fluorescent colors. They don't exist. So I wanted to have
you've got to paint them.
Not only the bales are illustration, it's a surprising and funny element, but within that you have the acrylic paint, which is making it even more unique. So yeah, this is Bells of Fun, guys, and there are 10 available. If you want one, this is the time to send me a message.
You know, we went 2 weeks ago. We went to the outdoor fair.
Yeah.
And the others in this collection were getting lots of attention.
You know, actually, that was the reason I keep doing it, because they had such a impact to
people. Stopped and turned when they saw them. So yeah, I think they're going to be a good addition and just a real tribute to your creativity as well.
Let's see. You want to talk about yours now?
Which one's first?
Which one's first? That's Manihiki.
Manihiki. Yeah, this is part of what I call my cartographic distraction series. These have been moving lately. It's so funny. They've been sitting around in these plastic sheaths, and no one looked at them.
Until Bogdan.
And then we started putting them in frames, and they're not expensive frames. They're not fancy frames. But I think they give a complete different.
You want to share that?
People need to see them to appreciate them.
Yes.
And so once they've been framed, they're just going. I think there's 15 in this series, and I think there's only about 3 left.
I think that the surprising element is you have this modern abstract painting that goes into a classic frame.
Into a very classic frame.
And I think people are reacting to that.
I also think the black matte has really highlighted the piece as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love these pieces. This particular one
let's get some details of it.
It's hard to see. There's chrome paint.
Yeah.
A paint pen. And it's really reflective. And of course, you can see in the image here, it's too much reflection.
What I like about it is, even though it's abstract, then you added these lines, straight lines, so it breaks every rule. You know, it's not an abstract anymore because you have straight lines and you know what that is.
It breaks it up. It gives it pattern through the chaos. I
love the color palette you use, the reds and the greens and that beige as a background. It's very nice. The greens are many shades of green there as well.
And again, what I have also found, this happened with James and Alvaro and with some others, is that they'll buy a couple of them because they're smaller, they're 9 by 12, that they matching frames, they look really good together.
Yeah.
And
actually, James has two of yours that they are placed together.
Right, they're placed together. Who else just bought one? I don't remember.
Oh, several. Some you have
we've sold
yeah.
just off
We'll
the wall.
talk about that later.
Cherie just bought one, I think.
Listen, why manihiki? What is that meaning?
What I did was, in fact, I remember now there are 13 in this series. I had named them after the Cook Islands. So we were down in New Zealand for a couple of years, and kind of as a reminder of that, there were 13 of them. There were 13 islands. And so I just named each of these after one of the Cook Islands. That's the only connection, is just for me to remember that we were in New Zealand. And they kind of look like maps to me. They look like relief maps from looking down on them. And then a lot of my kind of
it has a lot
normal symbols of circles and dots and things that I pretty much put in all my work are there as well. I think it's a lovely series. I was so discouraged because they just were sitting languishing in the flip files. And when we started putting them in frames, they just started moving. Sold one on just the other day. And
gosh, they have been here for quite a while.
I guess they were done in 2019.
I think so. So it says here on the
there it is. Yeah, 2019. So they've been sitting a while. And it just makes such a difference to see something framed.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. I love them.
Hey guys, it's almost half of the show. I want to thank you for watching us, for collecting us, for believing in our power, like our creative powers. It means a lot to us. And saying that, let's give some shout outs. First of all, you mentioned Cherie buying a piece from you.
Yes, she bought one of the cartographic. Actually, that's one of the glyph series. Okay.
And
but again, same thing, but just sitting around until we put them in a frame.
And she was browsing. And I watched them, and she came with her friend. There were others framed in other type of frames. But she said, no, I like this one in gold because it brings up the beauty.
And what was, you hear this so many times, what sold her on the piece was the story of the piece. When I explained what I was thinking when I made it, that makes a connection between people and the piece of art so that they can incorporate that story as they bring it home to their lives. So she mentioned that it was the story that made her decide.
And then you have Frank and Tommy, who recently bought
one of my little ones. They're only 5 by 7, and I've been looking at them as studies, and I think they're turning out really, really nicely.
Gosh, and you wanna share that just sold?
I just sold this last night to Stasia, a lady who we worked with in Russia.
Really
this one is called El Centro. And it's supposed to be buildings, and hopefully you can see there's more detail if you get up close. It's hard to see on the screen.
Is that a church in anything?
Well, it's a dome. It could be anything. Could be a church. Could be whatever has a dome. And
the texture, guys, that you can't feel and see, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think they're turning out really well. They're very, very small, but framed and matted larger. That's what you did with Frank and Tommy's. The frame was quite extensive.
By 20, yeah.
The mat must have been 4 or 5 inches.
Yes.
Yeah, all around it really gives it a lot more importance. In a frame.
And a weight,
And a weight, exactly, so that they're not so tiny. And I've got several of them that I've been working on.
I love these colors here.
And they've been turning out quite well. Yeah. So thank you to Stasia and to Frank and Tommy and to everyone else who have purchased
I was just looking around to see if I have a 16 by 20 kind of frame near me, but I don't have. They look really, really good in an oversized
right. And in fact, the bigger the frame, the more important the piece of work looks. So that's just a
fact.
Yeah, something psychological, I guess.
So I want to actually thank James
Yes.
who yesterday stopped by and collected firm.
Now that's modeled on
this
me
is
getting out of the shower.
no, it's me dreaming of how I should look at my 48 years old. But listen, guys, this is a fabulous piece of that I always loved. It's inspired from the Athlete series, and I took the Athletes. If you haven't seen it, go to my website and take a look. So what I've done in here, I just completely decompose the actual statue and get half of it, the lower part, because I find it very interesting. And those athletes are just amazing photographs.
It's amazing work. And then, of course, what you've done with them is even more interesting to me. These are three-dimensional.
They are three-dimensional.
They're those sculptural photographs that you do, right?
It's one of those things that you can't appreciate on the screen.
It becomes flat again when you take a picture, but those are raised. The images are raised off the background, which is a black velvety kind of foam board. And so you're going to put that in a shadow box kind of frame.
It's going to be with an anti-glare glass, and it's going to be fabulous. I'm going to share with you. The piece has been sent to the framer, and it's going to come back to me before he's going to get it. So
it's almost life size.
I will. Yes,
it's quite large.
It's almost life size. Yes.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. And then I want to thank Josh, who is keep collecting for me. And this piece I was working on last week, I think, and it wasn't yet completed when he said, "Oh my God, that's so inspiring. I want it. And then when he was ready, I sent him an image, and he absolutely decomposed the entire image, looking for
hidden faces,
hidden secrets. Guys, when I do things, it's just pure creativity. I don't necessarily hide anything in my works.
Right, there are no secrets.
But it was so funny to see what people see, because now I see all kinds of things because of him.
Right, if people see images in order in the chaos. You find patterns. We're pattern-seeking people, creatures.
And I have it here. It's ready to go.
I saw nothing but the saint in the middle.
It's a very nice. It's kind of fuzzy because it has a protection sheet, plastic sheet on top, so that we don't scratch the glass. But this is the piece. It's phenomenal.
And so you've taken an image of a wall, an image of a window.
Yes.
You have then taken those.
So this is.
And then superimposed paint.
Listen, we're going to talk about this in the second part, because I already put it on the presentation, and meanwhile has been sold.
So never mind. We'll talk about that. We'll
talk about the how we are.
Spoiler.
Yeah. So what else we have? David and I can't remember her name right now, but they were the guys who bought the madhouse for the Airbnb. And here Tara actually returned. I don't know, she has been in my studio some time ago, and she has seen this Midtown picture hanging on the wall, and she came now with her husband to purchase the piece. He said, maybe it's too big, maybe you need to measure, and she's like, no, we buy it right now.
That's great. And those are photos of downtown Houston. They could be anywhere, but they're kind of urban. And look at the colors, the pastels, I think they're lovely pieces. And she had seen it some time ago and just couldn't get it out of her mind. That's what you got to give in, guys. When you fall in love with a piece, admit it.
It happened to me. It happened to me like this many times. I mean, if you remember that collection, the Inheritance series, that somebody saw it, fall in love with it, and a year later, when her mansion was completed for renovation, she came back and purchased 3 large pieces. I was like, out of the blue.
Remember Cecilia?
Yes.
Cecilia saw a piece, dreamed about it, bought the piece, and then painted the piece.
With my approval.
Yeah, exactly. That's quite an honor.
And then what? We have this, I've done a little study one time. Because, guys, I hate to waste materials. They are so expensive these days that I can't afford to waste anything. So actually these mats, these black squares are velvet mats that were left over from
From the framing.
from yours you just showed a second ago. And I said, I'm going to try to paint over this. Maybe it would be an interesting experiment. And I had 3 on the table, and I've done 3. And guess what? Demi just saw it in the corner.
Yeah.
I said, I want it.
They were very, very eye-catching. They also were very, very popular at the art fair couple of weeks ago.
They're great, and they are, framed in this inexpensive but expensive look frame.
Yeah, it's antique looking. It's like a plaster frame. It's lovely. And she mentioned that. She's like, this frame is amazing.
Yeah, it's just like unexpected,
And the 2 things together are just perfect.
Fabulous. So
and what you don't see on this is the impasto. And this is thick
yes,
paint.
it's like we're talking about
it stands a quarter inch off the background. It's you must have done it with a knife.
I've done it with a knife, yes.
Or parts of it with a knife.
No, I mean
there's a lot of slapped on paint there.
Yeah.
It's really, really thick. They're lovely.
I think they're great and fun. And listen, what else? We are open this. We are open all the time. But this coming Saturday is the 3rd Saturday, and all studios here in Silver State Studio will be open,
and
including ours.
Silos as well.
Yeah.
So good time to come because lots of people will be here. The studios are open every day from Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5. But if you want to come and see, a lot of the artists aren't here all the time. So it's a good time to come by and see a lot of people open.
And I believe there is going to be something cute about it. You can stop here and have a workshop session with PhotoFest, creating the cyanotype images. And it's a fun project. You don't have to bring anything with you, just bring yourself. PhotoFest will have papers for you to explore and all kinds of materials to put on the paper, so you develop various patterns and models and images.
Is this the last of their workshops?
This is...
It might be.
Probably.
And
it's May 20th?
No, May 20th. This is going to be it might be, actually.
No, it's not. Maybe next week.
I thought it was the 3rd Saturday was their last month. But they're 1 to 4. And like I say, studios are open as well. So there'll be lots going on. And just go. PhotoFest has this wonderful educational program, and they take the cyano prints that you work on, and you become part of the exhibition that will be up until the end of May.
And these are my creations because I have to explore some. It's a lot of fun, and you kind of understand with them what this is all about, but then you can take this process, this idea, and explore more. Yeah, I think it's a fun process. Doesn't involve any chemicals. You can develop them under the water, straight.
Are we on time?
Time is 10:24, so I think it's time to talk about
the
second bit, which is Window to the Soul, that just has sold to my collector and friend Josh. So again, windows, decay, and I wanted to in this case, I wanted to create something different that has some Romanian motifs in it. So one of it was the angel that was found in this old church countryside Romania somewhere. And then I wanted to, we have great traditional carpets, and I wanted to get a motifs of flowers and add it here and there like a pattern, which I did. But I wasn't happy with it. And I said, what if I take just a flower and paint it like over exaggerated? And this is how this one was born. And I am really, really pleased with the result. Now, I remove the angels,
For the saint, huh?
the saint face, from two reasons. One of them, I want you, the viewer, to put a face to it, any face that you like. When I was a kid, I always been afraid to go into churches of all these faces looking at me. So I said, no, I am going to give you the power to put a face to this.
You can think of my face.
You can think of anybody's face.
So those are lovely, and it's a real homage to your history and your culture. That is a picture of a wall in Bucharest, and then a window from Bucharest, and then you added the icon in the middle, and then enhanced it with paint in those traditional motifs from Romanian carpets.
Yes, completely.
It's a lovely, lovely piece.
And as I said earlier, I sent the final result to Josh, who he absolutely likes to look of an image from many different angles that beyond my expectations. So he found all kinds of secrets and figures and faces, and it's like unbelievable how people are perceiving your art.
Sure, absolutely, and how that can change from one perspective to the next.
I'm in love with this piece, I have to say.
It's a marvelous piece, and even though it has a lot of cultural elements that are unique to Romania and Eastern Europe, it translates to everyone. It's beautiful for everyone. It doesn't
exactly.
It's not so specific.
It's not niche.
Right, and that's kind of like the Texana ones you're doing.
Yeah.
That they're very specific to a region, but they're fun and they're surprising.
So you have now 3 minutes to talk about
3 minutes, not a problem.
Can you do 2
This
minutes?
is Reveal. I've done several of these with Michael Swank at the Artist Incubator program with Art Gallery Studios in Mexico City. And part of our process was to create work. And so this is one that I did for those sessions. And I really like them. There's several in the series. This one is called Reveal. And
Ta-da.
it's on paper. Again, you can lose a lot with the glare. It's a nice size, and there's lots of reflective gold paint.
And it's more that it's the 2 shades of blues and yellows you use on top of each other creates that luminosity to it.
Right.
Like in here, there's almost like a pearl.
Pearlescent, yeah. And then, of course, there's the kind of geometric underline. I like to have lots of layers going on there. So there's other things going on as well as you look at the picture from different places. But I thought
I thought it was.
It's like a landscape, but it's not.
I thought it was this sunset, clouds, yellow clouds. There's a sun going. It's red at this point, and it's going away. I think it's a fantastic piece.
I think it's very, very pleasing, and there's several in that series.
And again, this is
with a good size.
It is a 24 by 18, I believe.
Yes.
And it's easy to frame.
That's why I did them that way. Yeah.
If you like it, to be like a natural look, you can leave it wavy the way paper unfolds. Or if you want a flat look, it always can be dry mounted, and it will be very, very straight and flat.
Right.
But yeah, I think this is pretty much everything we have for you today, guys.
Thank you,
Hope
guys.
you enjoyed the show. It was a lot to show you.
Oh, we're chatty these days.
Yeah. But saying that, we wish you a wonderful rest of the week, and we'll see you next Wednesday or this Saturday.
Or this Saturday if you're in town.
Bye,
Come by and
guys.
see us. Bye now.